I'm just going to discuss van life and generators, gasoline powered generators, inverter generators in particular. Uh, I'm in North Florida, and when I bought this van about 3 years ago and started to live in it, the first thing I purchased was an inverter generator and a window AC. Everything I power in my generator, in my van, I power from the generator. I have since upgraded to batteries, but I use the generator to run the AC during the day and charge my batteries up to run everything off the batteries at night. I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't even, here in North Florida, I wouldn't even consider solar. An inverter generator, depending on how much wattage you're going to use, whether I've got 1,000 watt and I got a 2,000. The 2,000 is running now, but it's the generators used mainly for running the AC during the daytime and recharging the batteries. To give you an example, how efficient an inverter generator is, if you were to have two 100 watt solar panels in ideal conditions, you would produce 10 amps, 5 amps piece. That's ideal. You're probably looking at about 3 average. Okay, on my 1,000 watt generator, I power a 10 amp battery charger. Just to use this as an example, in order to power that 10 amp battery charger, it requires 120 watts from the generator, and it produces 10 amps, the same as two 100 watt solar panels in ideal conditions. Y'all, in solar, it's never ideal. On occasions it is, but not. Here in North Florida, it would not work. I can't park a window van out in a Walmart parking lot to recharge my batteries. I mean, you'd die. It'd be about 140 degrees in there. And even if you cover the windows up, y'all talk all this crap, I'm not even going to go. It's very difficult to insulate your vehicle when you're in a 100-degree parking lot in July in North Florida. You better find a shade tree, find some shade, find some kind of cover. But I can power that. My 1,000 watt generator can produce those 10 amps that equal two 100 watt solar panels, can run for 10 hours on a half a gallon of gas. So let's say gas is $4 a gallon. That's $2 for 10 hours of charge. Now, I have a little Sportsman generator, with Walmart's. This is January 23. Got them on sale. I was shocked when I saw them for $175. I just couldn't believe they're not a high quality generator for $175. Now you take care of them, you get a lot of use out of them. You don't run the hell out of them. If you're going to use them to power your battery, your charger, it's absolutely ideal. You just can't. You talk about having a generator to power a 10, 20, 25 amp battery charger. Oh my gosh. Quiet, efficient. They're a little weird the way they are. I would not recommend it to a Sportsman inverter generator, which everybody's familiar with them, because they're peculiar in the way they're designed and made. If you're mechanically inclined or familiar with the 4-stroke motor and the carburetors and all that kind of stuff, then there's more you can maintain them. But for at least the first 1,500 hours, they're not a bad generator. After about 1,500, if you run them hard, they won't even go that long. But the first 1,500, mine's got 2,500 hours on it. My 2,000 watt generator from Sam's, which is the only one they sell, if you go to Sam's, it's got 4,000 hours on it. But to try to offset a generator and charging your batteries versus solar sitting out in the sun, I mean, there's no comparison. The downside of a generator, of the inverter generator, is and this is one of the few, is you're dealing with gasoline. Obviously, you have to go get gasoline. I have to put it in my vehicle. I don't have a special place outside to put a gas can. It's very hazardous, to say the least. I've been doing it for going on 4 years. I have never had a problem, and I've been outside filling my my generator up in the middle of the night, I've never had an issue, and it would not ever deter me from not having an inverter generator. Hell no. I right now in this van, I got 3 of them. I got the 1,000-watt Sportsman in the back here. It's got making a noise. It still works. I'm not gonna run it just to back up. I got another 1,000-watt Ryobi here, and I got a 2,000-watt from Sam's. That's the AI power. It's one of the few things that hasn't increased in price. $400. You take care of it, and that's key to any generator. Some of the higher end ones, the Hondas and stuff, you can abuse them a little bit. These cheaper Chinese ones, as that AI power is an extremely high quality generator for being a mass-produced Chinese generator. The motors are all universal. The 79cc motor they put in all of them. It's the same motor. The motor in my AI power is the same motor that Harbor Freight sells. The 3.5 horsepower horizontal shaft motor they sell in Harbor Freight. It's all the same. Some have a little better quality components to them. That's got 4,000, but I don't run the hell out of it, and I change it out. If oil gets dirty, it's clean. I mean, usually about 75 hours, but if you run it hard, you start pushing 800, 1,000 watts for a long period of time. Over 2 or 3 days, it nasties it up quick. But take care of them. Don't run the hell out of them. Change oil in them. Any of those $300-400 generators you find, they're hands down, no way you compare it to solar. No way. Other than dealing with gas. And another thing is, if you were a female, I've seen a few videos about these gals out there. They're having a hard time, man. You know, and they spend a lot of money on solar, and it's tough, man. And you know, she says I thought about getting a generator and all that. There's just no way to even compare. And again, I have a large bank of sealed batteries in the back, along with a 1,500 watt inverter, and I use that generator to recharge those during the day, and then I live off the battery. I run my AC and everything off those batteries at night, refrigerators, freezer, and I run the AC during the daytime. Run the AC during the daytime, charge the batteries on the generator, turn the generator off at night, run off your batteries. I put timers on some of my appliances so they don't run a lot. You know, I don't want to use a lot of battery. At night, everything's cooler. I can get away with running the freezer less, running the refrigerator less, running the AC. I got a timer on my AC. It just comes on for about 5 minutes and it shuts off for about 15 to 20. But here's the timer right here that works. If you're going to van life and do all this stuff, these things right here, as far as having a battery bank and running off the batteries at night. Some certain appliances run a lot that don't need to be run a lot. For instance, no need to cycle my AC while I'm sleeping 150 times. It cycles constantly in a small environment. It comes on for a few minutes, cuts off. Then sometimes it puts too much load. It comes right back on again. Put it on a timer. Comes on for 5 minutes, off for 15, 20. This plugs in here. Got a receptacle in the front here. You can set it from 15 seconds to 45 minutes. $20 on Amazon. Best investment. That's about it. If you're a female and inverter generator, you gotta. I would recommend buying that cheap. I would recommend buying like a 1,000 watt Generac or a Westinghouse or a Ryobi. Well, Ryobi's done that. They couldn't make it to 1,000, but get a quality generator. You don't want to sit out there having to tinker with something. A 2,000 watt is a little heavier too. You don't want to. The 1,000 is about half the weight of a 2,000. And you when you live off a generator, and if you're van lifing off a generator, you better learn about your wattage, what you need. Understanding how much wattage a refrigerator takes, and your microwave, and surge wattage. It's just critical. You better start researching it and learn as much as you can about it. I'm not going to get into all that, but it's very simple. But as I mentioned earlier about running that generator on a 10 amp battery charger versus 200 watt solar panels sitting out in the sun, that little Sportsman Well, that's 120 watts. Will run 10 hours on a gallon of gas. That's almost like an idle. Very little load on it. And if you take that little Sportsman, the one that Walmart's selling right now for 100. Last night, Walmart.com had that Sportsman. I got just shocked for $175. If you had that's generators. I don't know if you're female, it'd be good, but it can be finicky. It's the choke, how they work on that. It's very a man doesn't have a problem with that kind of stuff. He messes with gasoline motors and stuff. I don't know about female, but I'd get a higher quality one. But if you think you know how to manage that, go for it. Inverter generator, van life, North Florida, summer months, all months. No way I'd go without a generator.